listening to the Chartographers.
Hello, everybody! You are listening to the Chartographers! It is a music-loving podcast for music-loving people where we take every single album by a particular artist and we rank it from worst to first. It's a thing that we do, and it's what we've always done. Never any other catchphrases, don't worry about it. So guys, listen, we've done a great job of picking this season, like, artists that we've been meaning to get into, that we have, like, maybe we are not as familiar with or whatever, but this time we're picking an extraordinarily, gloriously idiosyncratic choice. A group that may not be a part of the conversation.
Use that word a lot.
What?
Idiosyncratic.
It is. I think it
gets
fitting.
featured a lot on this podcast.
It's also a sponsor of the podcast. The word idiosyncratic. Use it in a sentence today. But
Thanks, Big Bird.
Yeah. But more importantly, though, this is a group, I would say that when it comes to conversations of the greatest albums of all time, this is a group that generally doesn't come up a lot, but loved by fans all the world over, however, this does come up a lot, quite frankly. They are a very beloved college rock band that have grown and expanded in a lot of different ways. That's right, guys, we're taking our little jet set tickets all the way over to fucking Massachusetts, and we're going to talk about the one, the only, that band that you heard in a college coffee shop one time, and somehow they're successful now. That's right, guys, we're talking about Guster! Thunder God, if you're nasty. So, Guster, basically, they are a group that came out of Massachusetts. It's Ryan, Brian, and Adam. They have a love of bongos and also a sense of acoustic songwriting sense. Thunder God is the nickname the fans have given Brian, the drummer, because of the way he, plays everything with his hands. Brian also, don't fucking ask me, alright? You guys are the fans on this goddamn podcast,
Fair
okay?
enough.
We were just watching something about that a minute ago, yeah.
Exactly.
Was it him being called Thunder God?
No, how like he did the hand bongos
Oh,
for
yeah.
a point, and then they just walked away from that.
Exactly, because
I mean,
also it's kind of a gimmick.
He still uses his
Right.
hands
Oh yeah,
a lot,
yeah,
but-
absolutely. There's a lot to talk about, especially in terms of bongos and how many times bongos comes up in this fucking band's discography. It's like late era Harry Nilsson when he uses the fucking steel drums. It's great. Anyway, but Guster, they have come a long ways from their basically Tufts College roots to the point where they are now like a very successful, very popular group that still tours to this day. They have a very fascinating discography, and we also just found out today that they have an album that may be coming out later this year. But for the main reason, we're going to be talking about their albums from 1995 to 2015. It's going to be a great time. We're excited about it. And most importantly, guys, we got the fucking people to do it, to do the ranking, to do the talking. I'm so excited about it. Most importantly, out of all of them, we have me. I'm Evan Sadi. You might know me. I'm an interviews editor over at Pop Matters. You probably see me writing in Yardbark or other places. But most importantly, guys, I am here because of this person sitting next to me. The Brian to my Ryan. That's right, guys. We're talking about the one, the only, the co-creator of the podcast, Taran O'Reilly's in studio. Taran.
Hey guys.
How are you doing?
I'm great.
Oh, we're doing voices now.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
It's interesting because I feel like there were a couple artists this season that you and I have been like kind of familiar with, that we've done deep dives on. This is one of the rare times where like I have almost zero familiarity with the artist, and this is a group you have loved for a long time.
Yeah, we've had a small number of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is definitely one of the biggest ones where like
You know this discography.
I didn't need to do a ton of research.
Yeah.
Like, I still listened to everything, obviously. I mostly needed to listen to the first album and the last album, but everything else I was very familiar with. Raised on this shit. I'll talk about all the times I've seen them live in the happy hour. But yes, I am incredibly familiar with Guster.
Which is great, and someone else is going to talk about them live in the happy hour because he has a lot of notes, and is actually the guest that we have right now, aside from being our Guster, he's also a very dear friend, and I've mentioned it before, and it's worth mentioning again. He ran a site for a while called Filmthusiast. We did a podcast, and initially when we talked about the ranking of franchise films like Pixar, Mission Impossible, what have you, it was kind of the genesis for what this podcast was. So there's a great debt that is owed to this man.
We're very excited to finally have him.
Exactly. He is an actor. He is a writer. You can check him out right now on YouTube. Whiskey Delta Films is his production company, and there's a series on there called Post, which is phenomenal. Guys, Dave Coupe is in studio. Coupe is in the house.
Hey everyone.
Coupe, how you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm really good.
Wait, so Guster was like one of the bands, like one of the first bands that you ever really truly enjoyed?
Yeah, absolutely. I grew up listening to movie soundtracks, scores predominantly. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm like the Beatles
'Cause you're a
and stuff
movie
like
guy.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, huge into movies and stuff like that. But I remember at a cast party in high school, Will Nichols put on 2 Points for Honesty, and done.
Sold. Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
I mean,
perfect.
they are a fellow Massachusetts band, so I'm sure you had a great
Absolutely.
appreciation for it.
Absolutely.
Well, listen, their discography, thankfully, is very, very concise. Because essentially, like, they have, like,
Damn,
the
baby.
satellite IP, they have quite a few live albums, a surprising amount of live albums, actually.
They have 11 live albums on Spotify. On
Yeah.
Spotify. There's one, I think it's during the it's during the Keep It Together tour. They're like all from 2005, and they have like full sets from like 6 different cities around the US, which like cool, but also so unnecessary.
Right.
Especially since that was the same promotion cycle where they put out Guster on Ice.
Yeah.
Their most famous
live album.
The one I did not know about until this very day.
Really?
Right.
Yeah, I think you may. I thought I was a big Guster head. I think you may have. You may be the number one Guster fan in the room.
I'll talk more about how I was introduced to them later. I will
Okay.
say I feel a little weird that my sister Karita isn't here because she is
The
the
Guster.
whole reason I know who they are.
Do you
but
need me to be her?
I'll put on a wig if necessary.
You know what? I think I'm set. Thank
Right.
you for offering
Well,
that.
Alright, you're
thankfully, though, for these wonderful groups, they have a very nice discography, which starts with 1995's bongo-laden Parachute, 1997's slightly more refined Goldfly. There is the 1999 major label debut in this form of Lost and Gone Forever. There is the much more romanticized version of that, 2003's Keep It Together. There is the self-produced big-budget album, 2006's Ganging Up on the Sun. There's the, you know what, disco's fun, Easy Wonderful from 2010, also Jesus. And most importantly...
Disco is really where you're going with Easy Wonderful?
Yeah, I don't know about
Disco and Jesus, let's put it that way. And
disco.
Jesus.
I'm sorry. Disco is a real stretch.
It's a reach. It's a
It
reach.
sounds more like, you know. It sounds exactly like indie pop rock in
Yeah.
2010. Like what was on alternative radio. I don't just because I think they say the word disco once in the lyrics does not mean it is a disco record.
and the electropop fop that
Sorry.
is
I'm not giving it to
2015's
you.
Evermotion. And so, long story short, you're so fucking wrong. But long story short, we got 7 albums
think
here,
so.
and it's
Have
great.
you heard disco?
Yeah, and so we're gonna basically gonna rank them all together here. I feel like I don't really. Yeah, again, we have no other qualifiers. We're obviously not gonna do the live albums there, but there's a lot of a discography to go into. So most importantly, though, Dave Coupe, our dear and wonderful and great friend,
Hi.
that we have here. Hey, buddy, how you
Hi,
doing?
I'm good.
I love it. I love that you're here. And most importantly, though, the biggest thing when it comes to this ranking, we always debate them. We toss things out there. Sometimes, we have open minds. I'm willing to hear arguments. I'm willing to have my mind change. Sometimes I'll fight. It's all part of the
love
journey, the process. But most importantly, we're going to start things off. You're the guest, so you get that special honor.
Oh, my
You're in
goodness.
the hot seat.
Yeah.
Number 7, Dave Coupe. What would you nominate?
Oh, Evermotion.
Oh,
Evermotion,
okay.
right off the
Really?
bat,
Okay,
yeah.
off the grid. So walk us through Evermotion a little bit. Walk us through your feelings, your thoughts.
I don't know, man. I remember listening. I was super excited. I've loved Guster forever. I remember Evermotion's the last one, 2015. I really connected with a lot of the Guster songs. Like, they've all traveled with me through my life. And I remember just I couldn't have been more excited for Evermotion. I was ready to love it. And then it came out, and I remember listening to every single track and just being like, what the hell? I can swear, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What the fuck am I listening to? and to your, there was one song, Simple Machine, that sort of caught me a little bit. And then also, Long Night, I have better feelings for now, but I have to be honest with you, like,
When you first heard it, it was like not the band.
Yeah, it was one of those moments where you're like, okay, I'm a little nervous about the state of the union of Guster.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And the thing is that, like, I think, and I've done a lot of, like, reading into it right there, and I asked Taran about this earlier today. I said, like, is lead singer-songwriter Ryan Miller, is he, like, kind of resentful of his success? Like, he's in a band, he's making money off that, which is his day job, that's fantastic. But, like, you hear him in interviews and things like that, he's kind of like, they stopped playing Airport Song live because they played it a lot, and people keep throwing ping pong balls on stage because that's the sound that you hear at the end of the song. Like, there's this weird kind of, like, we saw an audio audio tree performance they did where they asked him about the taping community, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
Because like hardcore Guster fans would just go to concerts. They'd have like trees of like tapes they do and like kind of like mix it down. Like there's a large fans love this band more than a lot of other bands we've done. Like this is a fan driven band, and it's weird how like he's just kind of like whatever. And like I remember reading about Evermotion, he's like we're changing everything that we've ever done. Like they just kind of want to completely reinvent themselves,
Which I respect.
right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's almost like because at the same time, like you can still, I mean, you can replace bongos with fucking drum machines and synth pads, but you're still the same group of songwriters, though. So I don't know how much you're really going to be able to fully change yourself.
Well, also,
Sorry,
I was just gonna say, I mean, if you're gonna reinvent yourself, why would you reinvent yourself into like late '80s Fleetwood Mac?
Yeah.
Like of all the sounds to go for, I really don't know why this is like
kind of this drab electro pop.
And you know, Ryan is a perfectly emotive. Not perfectly, but he is emotive. He's emotive enough in general, you know. Whereas I feel like because of the like reverb laden production on this album, that gets lost a bit.
Yeah.
And you know, I won't say that it's my number 7, but I do agree that it's there. There are a lot of disappointments on here. You mentioned liking Simple Machine. I cannot fucking stand
I love that though.
the verse melody on Simple Machine. That
Oh no! Oh yeah.
so bad.
No, you're right. I'm just a simple when it kicks into that, it's nice.
Which,
but
it's like good enough. You know, I do
That's how I feel about the album.
I do enjoy the sort of psychedelia of Lazy Love. But then also right before Lazy Love is Doing It By Myself, which again I really
Steel
like.
drums, baby.
I really like the chorus and the horns in the outro to the chorus. But oh man, dude, no one ever should use a steel drum synth pad. just don't do it. Just don't do it. And that's a couple times on this album. I forget the other one that is. I think it might be Expectation. Anyway, there are some other really bad synth choices where I'm just like, if you weren't self-producing this, someone would have shot this down.
Except the fact that it was actually the Shins producer they brought in to do this.
You know what? That kind of explains it. I'm serious.
Yeah.
And like the melody, the verse melody for Kid Dreams is reminds me of that fucking Keen song.
Oh yeah.
No, but
someone I used to know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Somebody. No, someone I used to know.
Yeah.
Anyway, but then there's another song in here where. Then there's another because it's I walked across. It's literally the same. But then there's another. Which song is it that Cops 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover? That's on this record too, isn't it?
Yeah. Was it Endless? No, it wasn't Endlessly. Yeah, I can't. Probably Kid Dreams. I don't give a shit. Honestly, like it's one of the things where like I will say though when I went into this album like because I went in just dry.
Yeah.
And so Long Night as an opener. I loved, and I still love to this day. Like, the fact that they're able to find kind of that nice little, like, groovy mid-tempo thing. Like, it's just kind of this... They have a very nice vibe that's going on there. Lyrically, he feels very engaged with it. And then the rest of the album happens, and I'm just kind of like, it's just like... It was more... And it wasn't say they're necessarily bad songs. I mean, I do agree Doing It By Myself with the fucking steel drums is a little bit much. But, like, it's not a bow down. It's just like, man, you kind of went a little bit generic. Like
they sanitized the edges of Guster.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It feels very
pristine. And there weren't a lot of edges to begin with.
No, it's Guster.
They were like a pentagram at most, and now it's just a circle.
Yeah.
You know, like or pentagon, whatever. You knew that.
But here's the thing.
I mean, they got a song called Demons. I mean,
exactly.
might be right.
Might be right. Exactly. They are a Satan band.
Rebranding.
I mean, they only ever talk about Jesus in the context of like pop culture.
Yeah. So let's
Satan.
But I will say though, like, I'm not gonna fight hard for Evermotion going low. I just have one other candidate I have to put out there.
Yeah.
I think we all know it's coming.
Oh, we absolutely know.
It's got to be fucking Parachute,
Yeah.
man. I'm sorry.
Dude, they're on the same...
And the thing is that, like, Parachute, here's the other thing I would say about, like, Evermotion is a, product of songwriters that have been doing it for a while, so, like, they can do a generic song, and I'm not sure what the worst offense is, doing a generic, forgettable song or a bad song.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, on Parachute, there are some bad songs. And also, the one thing where, like, I know they, like, you know, basically made it themselves. Essentially, they had some outside producer on there who doesn't know how to produce fucking bongos. Because legitimately, that's their primary percussion instrument that they have on there. And there are times when it starts out, like, very quietly, and then the chorus happens, and suddenly the volume, like, blows up. You're just like, whoa, you know, it just kind of, it feels very shoddy. It feels very held together by duct tape.
Also, I don't feel like they knew how to use Adam.
Yes!
He is completely different in this album than he is ever again in
I'm
all
so
of
glad
Guster.
you said that.
Like that was something because I mean I thought it was a different guy, and then I looked it up. I'm like, no, they just utilized him better in other albums.
Well,
So
I
Adam's
feel
the
like-
co-vocalist for those who don't know.
Yeah, and so Ryan is the primary songwriter
Totally.
and lead vocalist.
Yes.
And Evan made a very good point the other day talking about how, like, Adam on Parachute sounds like he is trying to put on a character.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, he quite literally is.
Yeah.
You know, it's their first album. He didn't have the confidence to just
No.
be himself and sing yet.
And he's
so
doing Ryan's
he was-
words, not his
he's-
own words.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's singing Ryan's words and Ryan's melody. He has Ryan in
Right.
the room directing him, I'm sure.
Definitely.
But also, to me, this album sounds like some dudes in college heard Indigo Girls, and they were like, we can do
As
that.
guys.
We can do that. Except they couldn't do that because they didn't know how to write songs that stood on their own legs
Yeah.
yet. And that's why, you know,
It's kind of a mental suicide.
yeah.
It's rough. It's rough.
And that's like, even
This
the
is all
strongest
reference.
songs on here, when you look at like Fallen 2, and you look at the title track, Parachute.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
just-
Parachute is like the one song that has survived out of this era for the most
Yeah.
part.
I liked Eden. a little bit.
Yeah.
Taran hates the prize for the record.
Oh God, yeah. The prize is up for like worst tracks they've done, just
Ever.
because it's
Yeah.
so utterly generic. And then Happy Frappy, which first of all, one of the worst song titles we've ever had on this podcast.
Yeah.
But also Happy Frappy, especially having heard since their cover of Nothing But Flowers by Talking Heads,
Yes.
literally is just, it's almost just a
Rip-off.
rip-off recreation of that
Yeah.
song, which is probably why when we heard them talking in that interview, they were like, we haven't played Happy Frappy in 15 years. And
Good.
it's like, that's probably a good thing. Like,
That's why you're still going.
Right.
Exactly, yeah.
because you decided to just cover the song that you ripped off instead.
Yeah, which is like
Solid.
probably a good thing. So personally, like my vote would at the very. I mean, I think we're all in agreement.
I won't
These
fight you
are-
at all.
I would put Parachute at 7. I would put Evermotion at number 6. That's like.
You're not going to get a major argument out of me.
Agreed.
Okay, cool, great.
I'm
In that
cool with
case,
it.
let's go ahead and do it, guys. 1995's debut. And funny that we bookended themselves so clearly here.
I mean, but but we're all we're ready to get into the good stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah,
right. All right.
exactly.
So, Taran, now that we've had those out of the way, number 5.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you, buddy.
Okay,
I'm so
it's-
curious.
It's, you know,
I think
it's,
I have an idea.
it's between two, and...
Fallen 2.
No, not Fallen 2. I think...
You're gonna say Easy Wonderful, aren't you?
I want to say Easy Wonderful, but I think if I'm being honest
Oh, I
with
fucking
myself,
hate you.
it might be Goldfly.
Oh, really? Oh,
We are on the exact same page.
really?
We're on the
Thing is-
exact
the thing is,
same
you know,
page. It's
Easy-
those two. One of those two for
we'll
sure.
get to
blown away.
We'll get to Easy Wonderful in a minute
Yeah.
before we rank anything, I'm sure. But Easy Wonderful is like, at least there's some like exuberance here.
Yes.
There's hooks aplenty,
Yeah.
even if they
There might even be
they-
too many hooks.
The-
as we
yeah,
talked
sometimes
about.
it's like a hook, like train wreck.
Like there's actually legitimately too many
like,
melodic
there's,
things
like,
going on in a single
four
song.
different melodic
Yeah.
things,
and they don't
that's-
play off each other.
Again, I'll get to that.
Yeah.
But with Goldfly,
Yes.
Goldfly is a really fun album,
Yeah.
and you really start to hear the bones of the Guster
Yes.
that's going
Yes.
to come
'Cause that's
with
the-
the next couple of albums.
That's the thing about those two albums is that Goldfly is leading into peak Guster, and then Easy Wonderful is leading out of peak
Okay,
Guster. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
how I
yeah.
feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, like, I think Great Escape is a really fun opener.
Yeah.
Demons has always been one of my favorites, especially having seen them do it live a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
They really bring a new energy to it. Airport Song is
I
probably...
mean, that's one of the best rock songs they've done at full stop.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
basically,
Like, in the running for my favorite Guster song.
yeah. You know, like, it just like rock song.
Right,
Yeah.
right, and it's, to the extent where you're like, where the fuck is this in the rest of your discography?
Right, and it's like
if
that-
you can do this, if you can write a song like Airport Song where is this grit and this darkness in the
Yeah.
rest of your discography?
Yeah. Also, Airport song starts off so fucking dark. You know, like, who's your daddy? I'm your daddy now. And it's just like, where is this going?
Yeah.
What are you
I mean,
saying?
it's like almost like Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah, yeah,
levels.
yeah.
Like,
There's an
it's
alternate
about-
universe where that's
Yeah.
where they go.
And it's also the
cool.
great thing about that song
Yeah.
is that, like, that is not they could not have pulled that off on Parachute. Like, that is something that has
Very
come
true.
out of maturity,
Absolutely.
that comes out of trying out and feeling
Yeah.
confidence as a songwriter to
Yeah.
tell a story that's outside of yourself.
And then for me, I love the run of Airport Song, Medicine, X-Ray Eyes, Grin. Like, these
Yeah.
are, like, solid. They've got hooks. They have structure.
I'm not gonna lie,
Really-
Getting Even is probably one of my biggest takeaways on here.
And Rocket
Yeah?
Ship's fun.
Yeah,
Like,
Rocket Ship is perfectly fun.
it's
I'm
perfectly
always
fine.
trying to figure out what that's about, though, legitimately.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know, mainly because, you know, so like the pre-chorus right before, like, I
Yeah.
am not a martyr, I am not to be worshipped. I'm like, so are you Elon Musk? Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, what's going on precisely with that there. But then again, that's kind of the, you know, thing where, like, if you read Guster lyrics on paper,
Yeah.
they're not great. But when you start actually getting into, like, the performance of it there, and especially, like, because Adam, like, he sounds like a vocalist on this fucking album. He doesn't sound like he's doing a
Right.
pose or sound like...
Right,
Right,
you're like, oh my
exactly.
god, dude.
I know, like when you see him live, like I talked to Taran earlier, and just like he looks like he spends most of his time torturing fucking, you know, Tolkien elves, you know, like it's just like that's like what
Yeah.
he does. But like I just feel like there's a lot more, so much more confidence on here. But yeah, hobbits, let's just say hobbits. But yeah, I don't know. I like this album a lot. I don't feel like it is the greatest album from them though. I still feel like the bongo percussion, I know it's kind of their gimmick. I also
Yeah.
feel like it's, especially 2 albums in, it feels a little bit worn out. Where it's just like, you know, they're getting better at making it sound good, but also like you guys, and I mean, it's one of those things where like I know they kind of want to move away from hand percussion to be like real drum kit shit, but also that's the thing that made them distinct at the beginning too.
But also, you know, I think about how on the couple of records after this, how, like, distinct and not quite iconic, but almost to that point, some of the cymbal hits are. Like, that's
yeah,
such an
absolutely.
important part of the structure of some of their greatest songs. And because they were strictly bongos all day, every day at this point still, you don't have that other layer of texture.
Yeah.
And especially if you're you're still only a 3-man band, you have guitar, you have bass, you have vocals, and you have bongos.
Yeah.
And just simply the addition of cymbals does so much to their sound, even if he's playing the cymbals with his hands, which he does for years still after this. So yeah, it's a needed change in their discography, and obviously Goldfly doesn't have that yet.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I love Goldfly. Yeah, is leading into the Guster that that we know and love as Guster. Easy Wonderful is, I think it's a good album, but there are these repetitions. There's the, you know, Stay With Me Jesus, and then Jesus and Mary. There's the What You Call Love and Do You Love Me. Like, there are these interesting repetitions, and it feels like a lot of these things are just a little bit like lesser versions of songs they've done great. Like those especially, you know, Happier, either way, like they've done those songs better.
Yeah.
And I feel like it, for me, it would be Evermotion at Easy Wonderful at 5, and then Goldfly at 4.
Interesting. And because the thing is, I feel like Easy Wonderful is also, again, very much the product of songwriters who've been at it for a while. So when you have an opener like architects and engineers, that's so the confidence that comes out of that
That's
song,
true.
you know,
Yeah.
like it's just incredible, and I just love it. You know, like the specificity on there. You know, living on the 4th floor of an apartment here in Baltimore.
Yeah.
And like just like I feel like it's just an expanded worldview that he has. And then legitimately, I don't want to be that guy. The Jesus shit kind of brings it down a little
Which
bit.
it's odd, and then you read about it online, and they're like, we're not a Christian rock band. We just really enjoy like sort of the iconography and the stories of the Bible,
Yeah.
and we feel like we want to draw upon that for their. But I feel like that's something they're constantly defending.
Yeah.
You know, but this
Totally.
one it's very.
Well, earlier
pronounced.
this week, you and I were checking in because, you know, this is the first time you've been on the podcast. So I
Right.
always like to, with new guests, like to just check in, make sure
Yeah.
everything's going cool. And, like, the thing is, you sent me not one, but multiple articles about the idea, like, is Guster a Christian rock band? Which is, like, one of the things, like, they're not, but they could be. That's, like, the thing, you know, like, they're
Well,
kind
you
of this...
start hearing some of these lyrics, and then you go, do I love a Christian rock band? And then like you look it up and you're like, no, I'm good.
Exactly. Right, yeah. I mean, and the thing is that like I feel like because it's weird though. Beforehand, I watched a documentary about the Easy Wonderful sessions. They were with another producer before they started recording this that was like pushing them back on everything, like going in there like dictating shit, like knew the musicality of their arrangements very well, but was like making them have a not fun time in the studio. So they had to kind of like revamp and redo things again.
Easy or wonderful.
Basically. And the thing is that, like, and so, like, they kind of came out of this, I feel like they deliberately pushed everything into, like, this much more, it's a very optimistic, almost to a fault album to a degree. And at times it's very fun, right. This is how it feels to have a broken heart. That's where your fucking harmonica disco shit comes in. And it's, like, legitimately, right,
There's literally never been a harmonica in a disco song.
Oh,
I don't
I'm sorry.
know what
They're
you're trying to
innovators.
talk
It's
about.
great. It's fantastic. Anywho, but long story short, it's like it's a fun, upbeat, like ecstatic, hi-hat driven, wonderful number.
Yeah.
And then like there's other things like fucking Hercules later on, and it's just kind of like I don't know.
That's
what
another
you're
one where
trying
you're
to
just like,
say.
what are the lyrics even? You just like threw some words at the wall.
It's filler. Let's be real. It's filler.
It is filler, and that's why we're talking about it for this lower position. Is because as much as there are some fun things on here, it's
Ocean.
totally filler. On the Ocean is easily my takeaway because they create such texture. And it's very
so beautiful and breezy too.
And it's like there's reverb, but things aren't washed out.
Yes.
Which this album does fall into. Well, Evermotion falls into even more, but it does fall into a little bit of a wash sometimes. You know, when we're talking about the Hook train wreck. But I don't know. There's just a lot of songs on here where I'm like, this didn't need to be Guster. You know, I feel like, again, when we're talking about peak era Guster, they had a very specific songwriting style, a certain kind of melody that you would expect from them. A certain, you know, even when the lyrics were basic and or stupid, Miss Oklahoma, you know, there was still, it felt very much like a specific niche that they were filling. Whereas like Easy Wonderful came out in 2010 and sounds like approximately 24 other albums that came out within those like 4 years, 2009 to 2013, with that whole like pop folk revival that happened. And
it feels like another band riffing on Guster.
Yeah,
you know like a Guster tribute band.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, it feels like a Guster tribute band that's listened to too much Mumford & Sons and Group Love. and that's why
Taran came bring up, it's like, this song sounds like Group Love. I think he said that about multiple
like
songs.
3 or 4. Well, basically
album,
every time they did the like, whoa, or like anytime they did a whoa-oh hook post-chorus, I'm just like, you guys like, they were better than that before.
Then
they kind of slipped into like easy gimme hook making.
Yeah. Okay. So then
it was easy.
Okay, so that brings the question then. I think, Coupe, did you say it was Easy Wonderful at 5 and Goldfly at 4 is what you were saying?
Yeah, but I won't fight anyone for the reverse.
No, I agree with you completely on that. The more we talked about Easy Wonderful especially, I'm like, what are the takeaways? Like, I like Bad Bad World, but like not as much as like some of the other songs on Goldfly.
Yeah, that's the thing. I said Goldfly, but honestly, when you look at Easy Wonderful, the songs might be more enjoyable immediately, but have less staying power. Because I feel like Goldfly has things that you'll go back to more. I mean, Airport Song alone, honestly, elevates it above Easy Wonderful, but then you also have X-Ray Eyes. You also have Rocket Ship, you know?
There's Easy Wonderful is very surface catchy, whereas Goldfly, there's a little bit more depth to it, a little bit more to chew on, and it's going to sustain you a little bit longer than Easy Wonderful is going to be, like, it's just very surface pop. You know?
Also, Angst is always going to bank for more interesting music.
Absolutely. 100%, yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, I think it's pretty clear. I think it's going to be Easy Wonderful going in at number 5 in that spot right there.
Followed, not bad albums.
Right, exactly. You know? No, but here's the problem, though. We are now getting into the stuff. We are now down to Lost and Gone Forever, Keep It Together, and Ganging Up on the Sun.
This is
where boys become men right here. Exactly.
Well, Evan, do you have a nomination? You haven't nominated yet.
No, I have not nominated yet Taran O'Reilly, and I'm about to, because the thing is that like you need to be nervous though, because what I'm about to do, he knows what's coming right now, and it's worth having a debate. I see that look on his fucking face.
Well, I feel like we're very much on the same page
about to
too.
Slap you.
I know he is about to slap me, but the biggest thing though is that I feel like we're also, when it comes to these 3 albums, I genuinely feel like there are enough great moments and great takeaways between them that I think it becomes a little bit more finer in terms of determining it. So when I nominate Keep It Together at number 3, I feel like it's one of the things where there's still so many other wonderful things on there, and I think the biggest thing ultimately comes down to, I think Taran and I just fundamentally disagree about the artistic merits of Ganging Up on the Sun, and we're going to get to that in a moment here. However, I feel like genuinely, like Lost and Gone Forever, let's just talk about them all briefly for just a little bit there. Lost and Gone Forever, they got signed to a major label, the same major label that re-released Goldfly because they saw the potential in the band, but then they paired them up with a producer named Steve Lillywhite, and Steve Lillywhite, he's best known for working with Dave Matthews Band, a group that has a very eclectic styles and tastes.
I can totally hear that.
Yeah, exactly. Except Steve Lillywhite is renowned as a great producer, and he knows how to make this band fucking pop. Because, like, Lost and Gone Forever is a well-produced album, like, straight through. The bongos are still there, but they're like, it feels like the songs are fleshed out and they are embellished.
Well, honestly, it's just a matter of knowing how to properly mic bongos. It's not even like that they're mixed differently. Like, they're basically sitting in the same place in the mix. It's just that they, there's the dynamics are less extreme,
right?
And
but
there's
like,
just a better sound to them.
Exactly, and like honestly, when those bass hits come in on 2 points for honesty, but just like when I hear that, it's just like it just sounds like more like overwhelming. It sounds like more like I don't know why I want to say oval shaped for no reason. I just like feel like that's like a sound. It feels applicable to that, but like it sounds so well produced.
Yeah.
And so for Keep It Together, it feels like it is weird though because in going through the lyrics, Lost and Gone Forever is kind of a bitter album. It's kind of a
super bitter.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, it's rough.
I mean, that's where I'm talking about, like, the angst from Goldfly.
Yeah.
That's absolutely still here in Lost and Gone Forever.
They got their hearts beat.
Yeah.
Around the time of Lost and Gone Forever.
Yeah. And so I feel like there's a tension that kind of makes it a very interesting album. And so Keep It Together is an album where I feel like there's a little bit more of a lilt of kind of romanticism to it. There's like some great fucking numbers on here. And you gotta keep in mind, when I nominated it at number 3, it's not like a personal affront or anything else to you. It's more of the fact that it's just like, I feel like there's an optimism to it, and there's amazing moments on here, and then there's Red Oyster Cult. Like, it just kind of feels like...
Red Oyster Cult!
I do too, yeah.
It's so fun. Because the thing is...
I love Red Oyster Cult.
Here's my feeling. Do you want to finish up with Gang
No, please, jump in.
My feeling is that Lost and Gone Forever and Keep It Together are two albums that have very distinct voices and themes and identities, whereas I don't know quite what the identity of Ganging Up on the Sun is.
Okay.
Whereas, like, Lost and Gone Forever is an album that anytime I have any issues of the heart, I go to.
Okay.
Keep It Together is a little bit more funky. They're pushing the limits of what a Guster album can be, and like they're come downstairs and say hello. Red Oyster
don't
Cult.
get me started,
I hope
yeah.
tomorrow is like today. Like they're expanding. They're testing the limits, and like Gang Up in the Sun is refined. It's wonderful. I love it, but it's not. There's something exciting about the growth of Lost and Gone Forever and To Keep It Together, whereas Gang Up in the Sun feels really nice and established and very sturdy, but it's not quite as exciting as those last two albums.
So my only other thing I'm going to say about this, and we've talked about this before on the podcast, is sometimes it feels like certain bands, like Death Cab or whatever, they get to this point where like they stop, like, there's an enthusiasm for songwriting, and then it becomes their day job.
Yeah.
Like, it's that part where we come from songwriters into craftsmen.
Yeah.
Where they could just write off songs, like, at any goddamn point. And I think, if I were to articulate what I think Taran's idea would be, I feel like Ganging Up on the Sun is probably that point. Where, like, they essentially, like, become, like, this is, like, part of their job.
The fact that you have a song called Come On and Hang On the same record, and
really
both
hung
of
up
them,
about that.
I just... And this was, I mean, specifically this record made that a thing for me. And then I've repeated it across, like, when Lake Street Dive has a song called Hang On, and then,
Alabama Shakes.
Alabama Shakes has a song called Hang On. Everyone has a song called Hang On. And all of them...
One Man Wrecking Machine.
And all of them have the same lyrics.
Yeah.
And they aren't specific whatsoever.
Charlotte.
It's all just, like, various, like...
Yeah.
various inspirational platitudes, and it's just a complete waste of time.
Yeah.
They don't do anything interesting with the melody. They don't do anything interesting with the arrangement or the orchestration, which is especially glaring considering when you look at, like, Ruby Falls is on this record. The Captain is on this record. Manifest Destiny's on this record.
Actually, there's that run
There's some,
of
like-
tracks 2 through 4, Satellite, Manifest Destiny, One Man Wrecking Machine.
I love the
Just
Captain
like-
too. The banjo and the Captain.
Oh my god,
And
the
they're-
Captain's fucking
They're
great.
doing
yeah.
amazing things with the orchestration, with the arrangement on this record, and then you get to the end of it and you have like just the incredible blandness of Empire State.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Which like not even seeing live could like reconcile for me.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just like, no, this is truly a nothing little song.
Yeah.
The beginning of the end is like sort of
What's not the beginning of
the
this?
thing is, that's the other thing that's weird about this record is that, like, you have the new underground and you have the beginning of the end, which should be harkening back to, like, the grit and the darkness that we liked off of Goldfly and Lost and Gone Forever, but for some reason, at this point in their career, all of a sudden, they're not pulling it off.
No.
Like, they're not... Like, I don't... You're writing angry lyrics, you're giving me aggressive chord progressions and riffs, but I'm not buying that you actually feel this way.
Angry is a strong word for some of those songs, though. That's the
Maybe
thing.
not angry,
Yeah.
but you get what I mean. Minor
Yeah.
key.
I
A little
agree, I
more on
agree.
the aggressive side.
Yeah.
Especially when you compare it to how, especially Keep It Together, Ganging Up on the Sun, there's so
Yeah.
many tracks that are very open and bright,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
They're also hungrier for Lost and Gone Forever and Keep Together. They don't seem as hungry.
Right, no, and I think
know?
that's also like a point to that thing where like they've established themselves. They don't necessarily need to be. This is
Yeah.
actually the first album that integrates their new member Joe as the fourth member of the band, and he's actually one of the co-producers on this album
Right,
too, because
yes.
like he wants to. And it sounds of all the albums, it sounds the most professional. It sounds the sleekest. It sounds and it's weird though
Absolutely.
because like when I hear Satellite, like that is such a next level like pop melody.
It's good.
on
Yeah.
there. Like it's just
Really
like
is.
Well, it's-
quality. It's so good. Yeah.
By far, in this era, their most successful song. When you look at iTunes sales, when you look at Spotify
Yeah.
streams...
It's apparently their
like,
first song that ever
Satellite-
went gold, which is
Yeah.
like crazy to me. Like of all the fucking Guster
Well,
songs,
and like
really?
Satellite is the
Yeah.
song that like other people, if they knew who Guster was, that was the song they knew.
Yeah.
When like in high school.
Yeah, again, for me, like, I remember back in the 90s when I saw the fucking music video for Fa keep popping up. I'm like, who the fuck are these guys? You know, like, that was my thing back in the day. So, like, that being said, though, like, Keep It Together, and here's the thing, like, I know you have a deep love of Keep It Together, Taran. I would also argue that you would probably not necessarily even call it, like, a full-blown end every song's perfect kind of album.
It's not perfect,
Yeah.
but it is one of my favorite albums of all time. And
Yes.
having seen them twice on the tour for this record,
It kind of brought some of the
well,
songs
because
to
they
light.
just,
yeah.
I mean, they toured like 2003 through 2006 before Ganging Up on the Sun came out.
Yeah.
They toured non-stop. Like, literally, like, there were times when they were in my city that I didn't see them during this period.
and you still saw them twice.
And I still saw them twice.
Yeah.
So, like,
It's incredible.
I've heard them do these songs so many times, and I just, because I saw them on the Ganging Up on the Sun tour, I saw them on the Easy Wonderful tour, like, I've heard them do the Keep It Together song so many times, and I grew up on this shit that I know I have nostalgia goggles on. However, I think
I don't want to take them up.
Diane is such a
Diane's such a great
solid,
opener.
beautiful
Yeah.
opener. It's one of the best songs that Ryan has ever written.
Oh, yeah.
And-
Careful is actually fucking wonderful.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
they're
mean,
all-
Like, that first 3-song stretch of that album is actually pretty good. Because then you go to Amsterdam, which I know is kind of their AM whatever hit type thing.
Yeah.
But, like, it works. Like, the guitar lines work.
I've actually performed Amsterdam.
Have you really?
At
I'd
my-
love to see
at
that.
my dad's 50th birthday party, I think. He had a concert. Anyway.
I love that.
But, yeah, I mean, you know, and then I'll give it to you, like, Homecoming King is kind of stupid. And
Ramona is a wonderful melody.
yeah.
And it has some of the dumbest
the worst
fucking lyrics.
that...
Well,
You
where
were-
have you been?
No. You were Miss Oklahoma. And you miss Oklahoma.
I'll get
Fuck
you
off.
what you want. Right, like,
Oh,
you couldn't think of
you
anything
dumb
else
shit.
to try and
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Any album, any album that has "Come Downstairs and Say Hello" on it.
Okay,
is
Well,
okay,
that's the other thing.
okay.
You have Come Downstairs and Say Hello, which is easily the most experimental besides
It's incredible.
It's like it was the blueprint for Ruby Falls, and Ruby Falls didn't quite live up to it.
No.
It's still fucking
How could it?
phenomenal.
How
Right.
could it, though?
Right, but like,
Yeah.
Come Downstairs and Say Hello is like, it's when you look at just like individual one-off like melodic lines,
Yeah.
and when you look at just the overall structure of the song, like the ABC verse chorus, like it breaks convention. It has this whole like beautiful swelling outro.
I mean, and
where
that's what you
all
live
of the
for,
instrumentalists,
honestly. Yeah.
all of the instrumentalists are like doing their absolute best work, and then you go into Red Oyster Cult, which feels like, I don't know, like almost like a John Lennon number, but that not at all. Like it has the whistling break, and it has all of these various. Again, you have like a lot of different melodic lines happening, but not to the extent where Easy Wonderful, where it just feels like a mess. Like everything feels very crisp. And what was the other one on here? What am I? Never mind.
Which, well, then also it ends with. I
Hope Tomorrow's Like Today, which is like
a Ben
one of
Queller co-write, and it's just
one of the most beautiful songs they've done.
Yeah.
You know, like
I love it. Like my heart just sings for that song. I mean, I hope tomorrow.
Okay, so here's the question then.
Yeah.
Though I tossed Keep It Together out there, Taran clearly has some antipathy towards Ganging Up with the Sun. 2 questions. 1, you being the Guster fan, especially during this era, I'm just curious what your initial reaction was to Ganging Up with the Sun when you first heard it. And then I want to hear what Coupe has.
Yeah, so when Ganging Up on the Sun came out, I
bought that CD.
Yeah, I mean,
We all did.
My dad bought that CD, but you know, I liked it a lot, but
Over time.
pretty much every single time I stopped listening after The Captain, which is only track 5 out of 12.
Yeah.
Which is not a good endorsement for this record. Even if like Ruby Falls is really good, but I've already spoken about my gripes on New Underground, Come On, Empire State, Beginning of the End, Hang On, and then, you know, Dear Valentine is pretty generic too. And it just like, with how, like, when we're not even looking at lyrics, not even looking at orchestration, when we're just talking about melody, like how strong is the song writing, like the bones that you're given to work with, I just don't think that Ganging Up on the Sun is as good as the 2 albums before it. It just doesn't, again, it falls into that Craftsman thing. They've been touring, again, non-stop. They've been pretty much touring since like 97. They're so like used to their craft that this album just kind of feels like it fell out of them. And I don't feel the same, like you said, Dave, the hunger is missing.
Yeah. So, I just tossed it out there, though. I have a feeling you would nominate Ganging Up with the Sun at the very least at number 3. And keep in mind, you still would be nominating it at number 3 over several other albums, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it is it's unquestionably Ganging Up in the Sun is not on the same level as the other 2 we have left, for me.
Coupe?
I couldn't agree more.
Okay.
Like, I absolutely could not agree more. For me, it's all about Forever and Together. Like, those are, when I know, I'm truncating the titles.
Yeah.
But for me, when I think Guster, I think those 2 albums, like really, like, my love of Guster comes from them. I loved Ganging Up on the Sun when it came out. I got it too. I remember being in college and listening to it. And The Captain has my heart. I fucking love.
Oh, definitely. The Captain is one of my favorite songs from them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like top 5 probably.
But it's just not those last 2. Those last 2 for me are just I don't even know what they could be for number 1 and 2. But like it's those 2 in my heart. In my heart,
I just can't remember what Backyard sounds like for the life.
In the
backyard.
In the garden.
It's gonna turn into a fucking sing-along here. Alright, well, before we go any further, though, I think it's fair to say we can put Ganging Up the Sun at our number 3 spot. So to just
Which is beautiful. A nice little snug place for it, you know.
And so to recap, number 7 is Parachute, number 6 is Ever Motion, number 5 is Easy Wonderful, number 4 is Goldfly, number 3 is Ganging Up with the Sun.
I
Which
have no
leads it
issue
down
with
to
any
what
of that
people
ranking.
would just debate about Lasting On Forever, Keep It Together. Dave Coupe, it's now your turn.
God. Oh my God.
Number 2.
This is
Number 2.
This is because, I mean, alright, full disclosure, I came into this thing thinking there's no way Lost and Gone Forever was not my number 1. But man, Keep It Together is fucking great. Like, it's great.
Okay.
And it's like, I feel like Lost and Gone Forever is their most, like, it's emotional and it's hungry and it's early, like, and it's really like one that you're really you really get the sense of identity. Whereas Keep It Together with like Come Downstairs and Say Hello, Red Oyster Cult is them kind of getting a little more funky, expanding what it can be, being a little bit more experimental. I don't know, like my heart says...
Okay.
Yeah.
All I can say is that we've talked a lot about Keep It Together. Let's just talk about Lost and Gone Forever a little bit. Exactly.
I mean, my favorite Guster song of all time is 2 Points for Honesty.
It's a great fucking song.
It's
but
my
I feel
favorite
like this album...
So you'll be away. Like, dude, it's perfect. I think it's just a perfect song.
I feel like the most big fan songs come out of this album. Like, every album has some fan songs on here, but when you have Barrel of a Gun, when you have Fa Fa, you can put on I Spy or Center of Attention.
Yeah, I mean, either way, again, having seen them live a lot of times, either way gets a lot of crowd engagement. Everyone is wailing that thing. When you get, like, Center of Attention, when you get that tight, everyone's on board. When you get Happier, where there's the two different vocal lines interacting, again, everyone is screaming this. You know, I think I'm going to agree with you. I feel like probably when you have like lifelong fans, fan favorites, even people who maybe discovered them later, they go back and listen to Lost and Gone Forever, and there are just so many tracks on here where you're just so fucking excited that it's happening. Like I Spy also. I understand your like not being able to pick because they're very close for me too, and honestly going into this week it was unquestionably Keep It Together for me because it's a more lighthearted, enjoyable listening experience.
Oh, 100%.
You can Keep It on together at any time, whereas I feel like Lost and Gone Forever...
It's the bitter.
It's bitter. Sharp. You have to be in the right mood for
Except the thing is that, like, they also make it so relatable, though. Like, you can have a bitter, drawn-out, like, pissed-off album. But, like, the thing is they marry all of these things, because, honestly, Happier is a pretty pissed-off fucking song. It's a pretty, like... fuck you kind of song, and yet it is one of the most singable melodies you could possibly have, like on a Guster album. Next to Fa Fa, which is about nothing and feels like everything.
Well, and that's the thing is like I love Fa Fa and Barrel of a Gun, but they're both kind of about nothing,
right?
But then also, they very much feel like the parallels to Careful in Amsterdam for me. You know, it's like the big
100%
like, out the gate.
Yeah.
They're the like gimme pop
hits,
numbers, like good melodies, nice and like bright and open, and then as you get later into the records, you start getting into more of the grit.
And also, this album does not have Jesus on the Radio on it, so
that's
I think
true.
That's kind of
I love Jesus on the Radio,
too.
and was shocked to find out that it was the first Joe Pizzanzio co-write. That's not his last name, but it's close.
It's like Piscopo.
But that's the guy who ended up joining the band for Ganging Up on the Send and Easy Wonderful,
and then left to be part of Katie Lang's band.
Yeah, that's a better gig.
So then they brought in Luke, was the other guy. I mean, they have a wonderful round of generic named members joining their band at any point. Ryan, Brian, Adam, Luke. Like, okay,
Joe.
cool, yeah. I can't wait for them, Michael, to join the band on the next album.
Or
followed by
Dave.
Steve.
I would join in a second.
Oh my god.
You just see the one tambourine hit at the end. Bam!
Bucket list right there. Oh my god.
Join Guster.
Yeah.
Okay, well listen, Dave, I don't want to be that guy. But I'm going to have you face down the barrel of a gun right now. Number 2.
Keep It Together. Keep It Together.
Really?
Yeah. Lost and Gone Forever is my number one. I and just talking about it reignited it, like my heart. It's if my heart is singing true, it's Lost and Gone Forever is number 1.
And it's funny because I always do I try to rank the tracks very scientifically as to how much like what my favorites are.
Yeah.
And for me, Keep It Together has a bunch that are the highest. But when you're talking about overall album experience, I think I have to agree with you. I think that Lost and Gone Forever, because it has more, it just has more depth to it. And even when the lyrics are a little more basic on here, you kind of you buy it more.
It's the same reason we chose Goldfly over Easy Wonderful.
Yeah.
You know,
no, I think
they have an interesting parallels.
Yeah,
like they really are like
they hop back and forth between their two extremes.
Well, yeah, it's like and then we are meeting at the middle of these two.
Well, no, even more than that. we have 7 albums to rank, and we started out the first album and the last album, and then we went to the second and first album, second and last album, and then
Exactly.
we
That's
kind
what
of
I'm saying.
narrowed it down a little bit. So by that logic, Keep It Together should be number 1. But I also feel like, it's just like ultimately Lost and Gone Forever is the album that built Guster into what they are. They've had other albums, they have other songs on there, they have
It's where I
other
fell in
wonderful...
love.
Exactly, but like that's the one where like their career is based off of Lost and Gone Forever, if we're going to be honest with ourselves.
That's the
For
era.
good reason.
That's the era that I was introduced to them too.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
my sister and dad saw them opening for John Mayer while they were promoting Lost and Gone Forever.
Cool.
And they brought home a copy of Goldfly, and then the rest is history.
I love that. That's great. Well, guys, you know what? I think we've had a wonderful discussion. I think we've had a wonderful debate. I think it's time that we call it. Guys, let's go ahead and do it. Number 7 is Parachute. Number 6 is Evermotion. Fuck you. Number 5 is Easy Wonderful. Number 4 is Goldfly. Number 3, Ganging Up on the Sun. Number 2, Keep It Together. And as we know, the number 1 album, Guster on Ice. It's great. They're live. They're doing all the different tracks. It's fantastic.
Say it!
It is Lost and Gone Forever is number 1. So, guys, that is a debate. That is a discussion. But you know what? We have so much more to talk about.
I gotta tell you though, that ranking is... it's perfect.
Magnifique.
It's perfect. That is a ranking I cannot even possibly argue with.
I'm alright with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is that we still have so many other stories to tell.
Oh, I can't
We
wait.
have to talk about Ryan being an asshole. We have to talk about the bongos being live. We have to talk about the fucking Meow album. We have to talk about seeing them live. We have so many other things to talk about, and that is going to be the Happy Hour mini-sode right after this. But until then, though, 2 things. 1, please do us a favor. Find us on iTunes. When you do a ranking, other people see it, and it's fantastic. Even if it's just 1 star, like, Evan sucks. I get it. It's fine. I know me.
He's kind of annoying.
I am.
It's
Really. I kept
understandable.
saying disco a lot. But most importantly...
Reddit agrees with me.
Reddit
He's
agrees
not-
with
Dude, you're just idiosyncratic.
Yeah, that's really all it is. Just 1 inch, you son of a bitch. But most importantly, though...
One itch.
Yeah. Most importantly, though...
I've already corrected you on that.
Yeah. Most
Without
importantly,
the
though... I do want to say, of all things... Dave Coupe, thank you so much for
Oh, it
being
was my
here.
absolute pleasure.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you brought the knowledge and the love and
this is great. Yeah.
And there's Happy Hour Minnesota.
I can't wait.
You can't wait. I know the audience can't wait. So please keep on listening. You should know there will be. Have a good one, guys. Good.
Heat of the moment, I thought that I could myself.
Welcome to the Reviewniverse promo! The Reviewniverse with Chris and Steve is a podcast about 2 men who are hired to review everything in the universe.
We're stuck in a tiny room together filled with pneumatic tubes while 2 shadowy figures dictate what we have to review next.
Anything from pizza
To pop stars.
to the entire state of Wisconsin.
A new episode every Thursday wherever you get your podcasts.
We give this promo a 100 out of 100.